Tom, it's just a tough subject. A recent study by Brown University showed that nearly 450 children are killed each year by their parents.
My daughters were picked up on a Friday by their father to spend the weekend, and that night he pumped carbon monoxide into their bedroom and slit their throats.
Searches have begun for 2 children killed by their mother in Pickens County.
9-year-old Hayden King was laid to rest today. Hayden's 4-year-old sister Harper will have a celebration of life service tomorrow morning.
Here's a story that's breaking at 6 o'clock. It's all centered around the 3 people you see on your screen. The key pieces in a Middletown murder case.
On the left is James Hutchinson. Police say the 6-year-old was killed allegedly by his own mother.
East Los Angeles mother was charged today with killing her 3 young children. The youngest was less than 2 months old.
At 6 with breaking news.
Good evening to you, friends. Greg Merriweather along with Elizabeth Vow. Our top story today, that precious little 2-year-old right now. 2 people are facing charges accused of murdering little Nevaeh Allen. Investigators found the 2-year-old dead in Mississippi after several days of searching.
One of those blamed in her death, the girl's mother, Lanaya Cardwell.
Stories. I hope everybody has had a wonderful week so far. This is kind of our smaller channel where we talk about smaller cases that aren't quite getting some attention and giving them just a little bit of attention on this side of the street. So thank you all for coming over here and being part of the smaller channel, Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. And of course, many of you guys know me as Bullhorn Betty. Melanie, it's nice to see you as always. Peggy, Cinderella, Deanna, it's nice to see you. B, Betty fan, hey, 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 hey. Truth in Time, Dawn, it's nice to see you. Carla, good afternoon. Good afternoon. So the interesting thing is we have a new pope. We have a new pope. I don't know if you guys heard about this. This has just been dropping over. Hey, Elizabeth, it's nice to see you, love. It's just been dropping over the last, I think, hour, half hour, something like that. I was pulling stuff together. And one of my friends on Facebook was made a post that we have our first American pope ever. So I thought that was interesting. Now, I don't know. At Truth in Time, I'm not Catholic. So I don't, this is for something that I withhold judgment. I don't know who he is. Never heard of him before. I just know that the past pope was a great loss to many people. Many people mourned his loss, and a lot of people are now celebrating this first American pope ever as the 267th leader of the Catholic Church. So just out of respect, we want to make sure that we are supporting our Catholic friends in their decision. It's, again, I'm not Catholic. It doesn't affect me one way or another. My grandparents were, and I refuse to participate amongst Catholics. I get it. And so I just thought this was very interesting. And Pope Francis, as you guys know, lost his life in April to what we thought was just, some bronchitis that apparently went to double pneumonia. Now, if you guys saw my thumbnail, this is kind of an interesting case. It's not really a surprising case, and it's not one that we haven't heard or seen from in the past. I just lost my audio, which really upsets me because StreamYard has been dropping audio. Literally, this is the second channel that it's dropping audio on, which is really upsetting me. It's upsetting me. It is upsetting me. Okay, so I don't know what's causing the lag, but I got some lag going on this channel as well. I don't know where the lag is coming from. As a matter of fact, I don't see anything really running. Let me just make sure we put this down here, which I'm probably going to need in just a second, but I can open it up on here, I think. Let's see. Am I still laggy? I am still pretty laggy. Well, I'll be. All right, well, let's just get through this. Let me turn my camera off since I'm so laggy. There I am. Hey, guys. I know there's nothing worse than having me kind of like still as I'm talking. It drives me nuts. If it drives me nuts, I figure it's got to drive somebody else nuts. Guys, this is, again, a case that we may have to listen to a commercial. I'm not sure. We'll see when I play it. But this is a case where a woman went to jail for having marijuana on her persons. Her mother went over to her house and found one of her children in really poor condition, barricaded in a closet. And it sparked this search for a younger daughter, one that hadn't been seen since 2017. And her name was Ava Gonzalez. And we don't know where she's at. But many people, and after hearing the details of this child's case, it makes you wonder if Ava is even with us.
Austin police are looking for a little girl who has been missing for 7 years. She was last seen when she was 2 years old. Officers learned that Ava, who would now be 9 years old, was missing when APD recently took her mother, Virginia Gonzalez, into custody.
And officers arrested Gonzalez after...
That is correct. Recently. This child has been missing since 2017 and has just now been realized that she's been missing since 2017. This brings us back to a whole host of cases, but the most notable case for me is Harmony Montgomery. Even though she was reported when she went missing after only 2 years, nobody reported Ava. Nobody. And then it just took a recent arrest of her mother to find out she was even missing. And then when investigators start searching for her, they start realizing nobody has seen her for a really, really long time. And they just found her sister in a closet weighing an astonishing 26 pounds.
They found Ava's younger sibling in a bedroom closet in a Del Valley apartment. Sam Stark breaks down what we know so far.
This is 2-year-old Ava Gonzalez. Austin police say she hasn't been seen since December of 2017.
The Austin Police Department is asking the community for help to find Ava Marie Gonzales.
The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children developed this age progression.
So this is a recently progressed photo. And again, she has been recently reported missing. However, no one has heard or seen her since 2017 when she was only 2 years old. So this is what they believe she will look like today.
Aggressive photo showing what Ava might look like at 9, the age she would be now.
Missing person detectives are seriously concerned about Ava's welfare, given the circumstances in which Ava's 7-year-old sibling was found.
According to police documents, Ava's mom, Virginia Gonzalez.
And you're going to find out this lady here, this is the mother. This is the one that was pulled over, got a charge for marijuana, which made her mother go over to take care of her children. She has 6 other children, y'all. Her sister that was found in the closet would have made 7, and her missing would have made number 8. All other 6 children were perfectly fine. These were the only 2 being abused and malnutritioned, and I keep wondering why. Were they from a specific father that she no longer likes, no longer cares for? No other adult like grandparents, aunties, uncles, cousins? Well, apparently there was, because her mom's the one that found her daughter in the closet. But it makes you wonder, how did somebody not know? I mean, we've got questions. Hey, Wheezy Girl, Phil, Eeyore Blue, Heather, it's nice to see you.
Gonzalez was arrested after Ava's 7-year-old sister was found soiled, trapped, and emaciated inside of a small bedroom closet. Ava's grandmother found the 7-year-old girl and called the police. She weighed only 29 pounds.
Excuse me, 29 pounds. I think I said 26 pounds.
When they found her, police say they believe she'd been locked up in the closet with no lights for weeks.
7-year-old was immediately taken to a local hospital for medical treatment.
But for weeks. For weeks. For weeks. What could she have possibly done to be treated like this?
And is currently recovering. There were 6 other children found in the home that appeared physically healthy.
While investigating the abuse, they realized an 8th child was missing, Ava Gonzalez. Police say none of the 8 children were enrolled in school.
Cases like this are relatively rare, thank goodness.
So mom has none of these kids. None of these children are enrolled in school. This is 8 children that are basically off the books and out of people's thoughts. How does this happen? How does this happen?
Goodness. But, it's the kind of case that definitely makes you sick to your stomach when you hear the facts.
Child Protective Services attorney Shelley Troberman said it is highly unusual for a child to go missing for so long without anyone noticing.
But I will tell you that in the few cases that I've had where a child has either passed away and people didn't know, a lot of times the parent in charge is giving a lot of family members a lot of conflicting information.
Police said they were unsure of who Ava's father is. They urged anyone with any information to come forward. Sam Stark, KXAN News.
And Gonzalez is...
I have to be honest with you. In my experience, hopefully I won't lag too much, but in my experience in these situations, when you have a child being abused, for example, we went through, I got to sneeze. Excuse me, y'all. Oh, bless me. Excuse me. Sorry. In a situation much like Quentin Simon's case, we find that the reason why Quentin was targeted or that maternal connection wasn't in sync with the mom, in my opinion, it had a lot to do with who the father is of that child. Okay, I'm not saying that is, thank you guys, thank you so much. I'm not saying that is the case all the time, or that's the probability 100% of 100% of the time. What I'm simply saying is, for me, in the cases that I've been personally involved with, where we have this kind of segregated siblings, like these siblings are treated this way and these siblings are treated this way, usually what I find is it's the siblings that have the father that the mother absolutely hates that are treated despicably or poorly, or and vice versa with the father and the mother. It could be both ways. I'm not saying just women or just men. I'm saying that when you see this type of thing, it usually has to do with the other parent as opposed to the children themselves. So I don't know if that's the case here or not.
Currently facing a felony charge of serious injury to a child.
And going in depth on this, according to Travis County, last year, nearly 1,800 children were victims of abuse or neglect, and there were more than 6,700 investigations by Child Protective Services in the county. That's why the Travis County Commissioners Court issued a special proclamation.
One specific county, 6,700 reports in 1 year. And you have to think how many of those reports were vindictive reports. And we wonder why things fall through the cracks when it comes to our Department of Children and Family Services. I think that right there, that statement right there, really does solidify the issue. We have so many reports coming in, and they have to investigate all of those reports. Can you imagine? Because I have to think that at least 1/3 of those reports are malicious. And if we removed 1/3 of the reports, just how much better of investigative work that they would have to apply to the legitimate and real cases, instead of these ones that are done in retaliation for one's, for a certain thing or another. I'm just pointing that out. So we've seen the mother related to this case, and again, we're learning that there are 6 other children in the home, and the 6 other children age between 2 and 14, and they all appeared to be physically healthy. Though during the investigations, authorities learned that there was an 8th child, which is the case that we're covering right now, which is Ava Marie Gonzales, who was not inside the home and who has not been seen by friends or family. And they gave a specific month of this as well. And that was December 2017, when she was only 2 years old. And as you can imagine, law enforcement, as well as the public, is very concerned, because this was about the age and the photo around the last time that this young girl was seen. So I really do expect a lot to come from this case, because I feel like this case is going to be very similar to Harmony Montgomery's case. I don't know why I feel that way. It may have a lot to do with just the details, like nobody really cared for it. I don't want to say nobody really cared for this. I think that's not accurate. I think people cared for this child, but in a lot of these dysfunctional families, and maybe you guys would probably be better suited for it, but typically in these dysfunctional families, what you learn is that how people are able to get away with this is they have a broken family. It's the isolation. It's not talking to the families. It's not going to the outings with the families. It's, where you talk to these people maybe once in a while. That's how this stuff is done, is because, just like, think about it like this. How does the elder abuse happen in these nursing homes, in assisted living facilities? You know why? Because people don't go and check on their loved one. And when people know, when nurses know, they know which ones are going to have visitors and which ones are not going to. And the ones that have more visitors are usually better taken care of. Why? Because they know they have a higher likelihood of being reported if they don't do this or do that. When they see a patient, not that it's right or wrong, but how do these things happen? This is how it happens. So this is the only way I can justify or explain in my brain how can a child disappear for so long without anybody knowing it. It's because you go long periods without talking to family, and then it's like, oh well, where's so and so? Oh well, her father took her back. I gave her to her father, right? But because the family's so broken, they're not going to be able to know who the father is or know what man she gave it to, blah, 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 or gave this child to, or, whether it's a girl or boy. This one, Ava's a girl. But you guys get my drift. You get what I'm trying to express here. So we're not just going to be talking about Ava Marie Gonzales, which is a 9-year-old girl that was reported missing in 2025, but has been unseen since 2017. But we're also going to be covering a crazy story and a historical one for the state of Florida, and not in a good sense. Florida is not uncommon for a multitude of things. We've had shark attacks, gator attacks, bear attacks, other type of wild animal attack. But this is our first ever bear fatality, our bear attack fatality. This is where, and it. I'm still getting a grip on what truly transpired, because I was listening to the 911 call, which was just, my heart was breaking. I mean, at first, the kids tried to sound calm, but you could tell this really, really bothered him. But from what it sounds from the 911 call is that this bear broke into a trailer and took the 89-year-old man out along with the dog. So again, this is like it's a wild, crazy story in Florida that it's, to me, got my attention so much. So it's going to be the second story we cover on this show. So the first segment's going to obviously be about Ava. The second one's going to be about Robert Markel, which is the 89-year-old man that lost his life to a bear attack. And again, this is the first in Florida history that I know about, that I personally know about. Attacks, yes. Deaths as a direct result. This is the first for me here in Florida. This is the first for me here in Florida. All right, let's get started back on our information here. Is this one? Yeah, here we go. We're probably, good gracious, my oh, excuse me.
Windor, Swanson.
The new DQ Summer Blizzard menu has such a stacked lineup, it calls for a
trade proposal.
My s'mores for your mixing bowl now.
I turned the volume off because there's no way to turn it off on here. Hopefully you guys can't hear it. But if you guys can hear me, let me know. Hoping it turned it off.
The Austin Police Department is asking the community for help to find Ava Marie Gonzales, a missing 9-year-old girl. Ava is a Hispanic little girl with straight brown hair and brown eyes. Ava has not been seen in over 6 years, so her height and weight are currently unknown. On April 3rd, 2025, Austin Police Department responded to a 911 call for a 7-year-old child that was found locked in a closet and starving. The 7-year-old was immediately taken to a local hospital for medical treatment and is currently recovering. There were 6 other children found in the home that appeared physically healthy. During the investigation, police discovered that there was an 8th child who was not found inside the home. The missing 9-year-old child was identified as Ava Marie Gonzales. Missing persons detectives determined that Ava was last seen in December 2017 when she was 2 years old and in the custody of her mother, Virginia Marie Gonzales. Virginia Gonzales was arrested on April 24th, 2025 for injury to a child, serious bodily injury, for the injuries sustained by her 7-year-old child. Austin Police Department.
So just to clarify, Ava, between these two children, Ava would have been the oldest, and the child that was found, I mean, had Ava still been in the household, she would have been 9 years old, and the child that they just recently found in the closet was 7 years old. So that child would have just been born when Ava disappeared.
Department's missing person detectives are seriously concerned about Ava's welfare, given the circumstances in which Ava's 7-year-old sibling was found.
Okay. So let me just go over here. Let me see if I can put Ava back on the screen. Hold on a second. I don't want this to keep going.
Theme of inequality.
Okay, let's see if I can find Ava. I'd like to have Ava's photo up on the screen if possible. Okay, I think we'll use this one. There we go. We'll put this up on the while I read this before we go over to the there we go. Before we go over to the 89-year-old bear attack, we will cover this one first. There we go. There we go. Get this just up just right there. I think everybody can see their face now. There you go. All right, so that is Ava. That is Ava Gonzalez, Ava Marie Gonzalez, and so we're just going to go over some information related to her case. She, as you guys know, she is now 9 years old in 2025. This is an age progressive photo because she has not been seen since 2017, December of 2017, according to the family. And she was only 2 years old at the time. If you notice, her sister that is found in the closet would have just been born around the time that Ava disappeared. If we were to say that she was 2 years old, because she would be 9, her sister that they just found was 7 years old. She may even have been pregnant with her at the time. I don't know in the timeline where that is. She has straight brown hair, brown eyes. Currently, height and weight is unknown due to the fact that she was only 2 years old when she disappeared. In the custody of her mother, Virginia Gonzalez, at the time of her disappearance. Her father's identity is unconfirmed by authorities, so we have no idea what happened to her sister. Her sister was very much malnutritioned, only 29 pounds at the time. They found her barricaded inside a closet, which they said that she had been at for weeks on end. She's in the hospital and recovering at this moment. So December 2017 was when Ava was last seen by family and friends. No specific location was provided beyond Austin, Texas. In April 2024, Virginia Gonzalez was arrested in Del Valle, Texas, for child abuse of Ava's 7-year-old sibling, found barricaded in a closet between April and May of 2025. Austin Police Department publicly announced Ava's missing status after realizing she had not been seen since 2017, prompting the siblings' abuse case. Virginia Gonzalez is 33 years old, charged with serious bodily injury to a child 7 years or older. For the 7-year-old daughter. Allegations were she kept the 7-year-old imprisoned in a closet for weeks, discovered by the child's grandmother on April 3rd, 2024. Virginia provided conflicting information about Ava's whereabouts to family members, raising suspicion. Where else am I? Ava was never reported missing in 2017 or the subsequent year. critical failure by the family and the system. I don't understand. I think all of us are a little concerned about how in the world she was able just to disappear off the face of the earth and nobody even know. There's no government officials, no systems in place back in 2017. Now, mind you, this is pre-COVID. Okay, this is 2017. This is not, post-COVID. This is pre-COVID. This is before everything went digital and electronic, and people were finding different ways to educate their kids and stuff like that. So we got some problems here, and that's this is not just a failure of the family. This is a failure. I mean, literally everyone's to blame here. There's no one that's not to blame in this particular situation. And of course, the police department only became aware of Ava's absence during the 2024 child abuse allegations, related to her 7-year-old sister. So this is kind of the case where we're at right now. And we can't forget that this child, there's no school records for this child either. So there's no school records for Ava or her siblings anywhere in Central Texas, indicating they were not enrolled, which limited oversight by mandatory reporters such as teachers and doctors. And so it makes me wonder how in the world 8 children can be anywhere in the state of Texas. 8 children completely off the books. And if there's 8 children just in this one family that are off the books that no one knows about, how many more families are just like this, not just in Texas, but scattered across the country, that have children disappearing right now, that have a child that they don't know where's at, that's supposed to be inside their home, that nobody even knows about? This can't be a unique case. I don't believe that. I believe in the law of large numbers. Okay. That means if this happens, if this can happen in Texas, this can happen anywhere. That's kind of the school I come from. The school I come from. So we have no records of schooling. It doesn't look, I don't even know if there's any records of doctors. Had any of these 8 children ever been to the doctor? We have one person that's 14 years old. We heard that one of the children are 14 years old. Has that child been to the doctor? Has that child been in school? Well, and why would a mom keep, I mean, think about it. 8 children? Why would a mom intentionally keep 8 children out of school? I mean, if for nothing more than to give herself a break during the day. Not that I'm saying they should just send the school kids off to school for, whatever. So we had, there was a lack of mandatory reporter intervention because there was no school attendance record. CPS prior involvement with Virginia is unclear, but no action was taken to locate Ava any earlier than this point. Someone knows what's going on, and there's a reason they didn't report it, is what Locke said. Media coverage has amplified the case, urging for community tips. We're here discussing this on our platform right now, trying to bring awareness to it. And we may have to put it on the bigger channel so we can get a little more awareness of this, because, again, this is just now coming out. She was pulled over in 2024, and while law enforcement knows about it, it is a real big deal now that they know that this child still has not been found since the arrest and them finding her sister in the condition that they found their sister. It really, really raises and heightens the urgency law enforcement has in finding Ava. So if you guys know anything, please reach out to law enforcement. Doesn't matter which law enforcement, pick up the phone. Call 911 if you have seen this child. Again, this is the age progressive photo of Ava. This is about the time that she disappeared, when she was 2 years old, and what a cutie pie she was. This is what she most likely looks this day and age. And again, her mother never reported her missing, which is awfully suspect. Okay, guys, We have another crazy case, and this case is coming from the state of Florida. This is something, had I not listened to this 911 call, I personally would not believe that this has happened. Is this the 911? Yes, this is. Okay, so we're going to jump right into the 911 caller because I think it's super important that we hear this because, again, you're not going to believe without hearing it.
After Monday's deadly attack on an elderly man and his dog. I'm Fox 4's Mahmoud Bennett, and we're learning new details from FWC about what it's calling the first fatal bear attack in state history.
FWC officers were still on scene Tuesday at the property where officials believe an 89-year-old man and his dog were mauled to death by a black bear. The attack happened early Monday morning off State Road 29. New chilling 911 audio reveals a desperate call for help.
The bear just got the dog. The dog's dead. We went in to check on him in the camper. He's gone. The camper's tore all apart.
FWC tells Fox 4 after searching through the night, they ended up killing 3 male black bears that may be connected to the attack.
We have 3 bears that were killed by FWC personnel last night. DNA samples from the scene and the 3 bears have been sent to Gainesville for testing, and we are awaiting the results of the DNA testing now.
The family of the victim, now identified as Robert Markel, did not want to speak on camera, and officials say it's not clear what Markel was doing when the bear attacked. What we do know is deputies responded on Monday morning after the man's relatives saw the bear attack and kill the family dog.
Do you think that maybe he ran from the bear? Or
he's 89. He can't run. He literally he can't even walk without falling over.
When deputies arrived, they found things scattered everywhere in the trailer and the mattress pulled from the bed. Outside, they found the man's belongings and 100 yards away, his body.
Obviously, we don't know the answer to those right now either, right? As the investigation goes on, as we get more information, as the results from the necropsy come in, we'll have a lot more information to be able to put together because obviously right now we still don't have an eyewitness to that.
Black bear attacks on humans are highly unusual, and this appears to be the first fatal attack since FWC began keeping record. Still, the risk has long been known. In fact, last June, Governor Ron DeSantis signed a law allowing Floridians to use deadly force against threatening bears amid a rise in encounters.
It's a tragic event, and I don't really know how to answer the question of why this bear did what it did. But we're in the process of trying to figure all that out. But extraordinarily rare, throughout the country.
For now, wildlife officials say they will continue to search for and kill black bears in the area until DNA results show which bear or bears are responsible for Monday's attack. They're also warning people to stay away from the area and share tips on what to do if you ever encounter.
And I will also tell you that this is not only rare, but from what I'm hearing is that in this area, in this particular park, they're accustomed to seeing up to 40 bears a day. That's a high and a very large concentration of black bears. And with, scant resources for them and food for them, they're going to look at other places for food. Again, when I listened to the whole 911 call, this guy talked about having up to 40 bears that live behind this RV park.
A bear.
Stand your ground, make yourself look large, talk to the bear in a calm fashion. Do not run, do not play dead. And if you have small dogs or small children, pick them up, make yourself look large. Even if a bear is touching you, you need to fight back.
Reporting in Collier County, Mahmoud Bennett, Fox 4 News.
I'm not laughing for anything other than what I'm laughing for. That was not the best timing in the world for that particular commercial.
Deadly bear attack in Florida.
2 victims, a man and his dog. Mariah Harrison is live with details on things. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. All this as FWC officials really are weighing the options of whether or not to move forward with a bear hunt here in the Sunshine State. I'll tell you where things stand on that coming up, but let's talk about this attack that happened just yesterday. Authorities say Robert Markel and his dog were both attacked and killed yesterday at his home just south of the Big Cypress Wildlife Management Area. Markel's daughter told investigators she saw the bear attack her dad's dog and then realized that her father was nowhere to be found. found. She found his body a short time later, just a few hundred yards away. According to family members, the 89-year-old Collier County man was a fighter who had beaten kidney cancer. His family left heartbroken this morning. Now, we do have some video to show you. After deploying 4 live bear traps, video shows FWC officials carrying a bear from a wooded area near where the attack happened last night. They're still running tests to confirm that this was the bear that attacked both Markel and his dog. And while this sort of deadly attack doesn't happen very often, FWC officials say they're trained and ready if and when it does.
When there's a loss of life, we're all affected by this, so we're very sorry that this occurred. This is where FWC officers excel. This is what we're trained for. We had a plan in place for this. We have drones, man and women power on the ground.
And I feel bad for the black bears that are out there, because right now, because of this particular black bear attack, until they find the bear, until they have the DNA for the bear that mauled this man, any black bear now has to be euthanized because of one black bear. But again, the Fish and Wildlife, or whatever it is that we have here in Florida, they should have been relocating these bears when they started populating the way they were, and having 40 different bears in their tribe. I mean, that's a lot of bears, and that is not good. And to have, for us to be able to walk out and see bears right out the door here in Florida is not common. Our black bears are, scant in the state of Florida. We want to promote, bears reproducing and keeping the food chain and animals population alive here in the state of Florida. And I'm pretty sure the black bear is on our endangered species list. But at the end of the day, we need to be making sure that they're not getting all together in a group of 40. That can be very problematic, and I think that is the number one cause that led this situation to happen. Because when you have 40 mouths to feed, and there's only XYZ of food out there in the wilderness, they've got to start looking for other forms of food.
Right now, FWC believe that it was a Florida black bear. Black bear attacks on humans are pretty rare, and fatal attacks are even rarer. There are 750,000 black bears in North America, and they kill less than one person per year on average. While, again, this doesn't happen very often, this is the second bear attack in over a week here in Florida. In Sanford, a woman walking her dog was attacked just outside of her home. She says that she used a bag of cookies to distract the bear and get her and her dog to safety. Now, again, FWC has confirmed that it is moving forward with plans for a Florida bear hunt come.
And in all fairness, if you want to look at the flip side of this, it's also not the bear's fault. I keep looking around, and especially here in Florida, we have so much building here. We have incredibly, just a lot of building here. And every time they take the forest away somewhere in Florida, all of those animals are being displaced and have to go find other places to live. It's the birds, it's the snakes, it's the lizards, it's everything that's out there, the raccoons, the foxes, the panthers, the wildlife that's out there in these areas. And it's no fault to them, but there needs to also be conservation areas. I am not an environmentalist by any stretch of the imagination. But there are certain things that I do agree with if brought forward, even though I'm not an environmentalist. I don't really, on average, look at these things. I personally, my viewpoints are a little different. But I do believe in responsibility, right? I still believe, even though this is not my cup of tea, I do understand logic and the fact that we need to find things. I'm not sure a bear hunt, which tells me that this is not on the endangered species list. But a bear hunt is, it's sad. To me, it's sad because they're creatures, but what do you do? What do you do? I'm not going to get into a fight with PETA, but what do you do?
This December, their plan calls for a hunt to kill 187 of Florida's some 4,000 bears. We do know that the last bear hunt here in Florida was in 2015. It was slated to last for a month, but it was shut down after just 2 days due to high kill numbers. And those who are opposing this, they say that's what they're afraid of, the culling of what is already a dwindling bear population here in the Sunshine State. But we're going to have to see how this shakes out. A first draft of that proposal will actually could be as ready to review publicly as early as tomorrow.
And it sucks because with every, politically with everything, especially if you're somebody that's tried to get a bill like this passed, you take every opportunity to get stuff passed. So with this right now, they're going to be pushing really hard to make different proposals and different laws push through our legislation. So we'll see where this all shakes out. But this just tells you guys, especially the ones that are in Florida, not only are we dealing with bears and this unruly bear population, it's at least in South Florida, we have also gators are mating as well. So if you're in gator-ridden areas, be very careful. If you're near swamps or you're going kayaking or doing something like that, right now in the state of Florida, we've got gators mating. They are very, very, very violent when they are mating. So if you see a gator, stay away. Not that you're going out looking for gators. Some of you guys might be a little kamikaze and be out there looking for gators, but for the rest of you guys, just be aware of your surroundings, especially around bodies of water. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. So guys, thank you for allowing me to bend your ear on these two stories related to the Ava Gonzalez that's missing right now. We just recently found out she's missing, and learned that no one has seen her since 2017, which is putting an urgency. If there are people out there that are looking for a case, please run this case. Ava really does need some attention. I will be talking about her case on the larger channel, but I did want to come here and discuss her case along with this crazy case in Southwest Florida of a man, it appears, that was drug out of his trailer by bears. That is just odd. But the reason why I think he was drug out of his trailer is because he's 89 years old, can barely walk, and his mattress and his whole entire trailer was in shambles. That tells me that the bear was inside, not a person outside and mauled. You know what I'm saying? That to me is very, very scary. So just be ultra, ultra, ultra vigilant of your surroundings. If you see threats, you guys heard best practices. Do not run from a bear. But if one gets too close to you, you're going to have to fight, and you're going to have to fight for your life. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe. But more importantly, kind to one another. God bless.
From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, Thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you, God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.